Um, all right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And in this lesson, I wanted to deal with the topic of self-control, which is something very, very important in this, in the work that we do, but more importantly, especially in these times. Okay, now, self-control, self-discipline, basically under the same topic or the same category, but this is something that, like I said, is very crucial in this walk for each and every one of us. And Yahweh Shai said, I was trying to find these precepts, but I can't remember them off the top of my head, so I'm gonna quote them. But there's one that I think it's here. But Yahweh Shai mentioned, right, he that endureth unto the end, the same shall be saved. All right, and that's not something to be taken lightly. All right, because of the society that we live in today, which I'm going to expound a bit on that soon. But also, as the Apostle Paul talked about, keeping his body in subjection, under himself, being temperate in all things. Okay, because we know that there's a constant warring. I believe he mentions this in the book of Romans. Forget the exact chapter, but there's a constant warring between the spirit and the flesh, which Yahweh Shai also said that the spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. All right, but they're both warring against each other. So it's very important that you keep the spirit up and you keep the flesh under subjection to the spirit. So this is the book of Romans chapter 8, and let's see if I can find the point that I'm trying to get, that I'm looking for here. And it might not be in Romans 8, but oh yeah, it is. This is Romans chapter 8 verse 18. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. All right, so the sufferings of this present time, the things that we go through, the temptations, the trials, the tribulations, the agony, the stress, the vexations, they are not worthy to be compared to the glory which will be revealed in us. All right, which is the reward that Yahweh Shai is bringing back when he returns. But even encompassed in that is the protection and the deliverance in these evil days that we're in right now and that we're about to embark upon. But as the Apostle Paul mentioned, this is something to keep in mind that will help you maintain that discipline. Okay, and also jumping down to verse 28, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. You see, and that's the key part right there, to them who are called according to his purpose. So we weren't called into this according to our purpose, to be self-willed, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, to do that which he, all right, that's the reason why the Lord called us, to do the job that he has set us up to do. And guess what? The Lord also called bug outs to do the job that they're doing now. They were actually called. The Lord guy he has his chosen elect and he has his chosen bug outs. And there's chosen wicked in all of them. All right, but the point right there is keeping in mind that the sufferings that you go through now are not worthy to be compared to the glory that's going to be revealed in us. And when you truly understand what that glory entails, you will be able to fully agree with this statement that the Apostle Paul made. And once you're able to lock yourself in that kind of mindset, you will be able to maintain that discipline. All right, because it's about doing what is going to be what is gonna it may be painful today, but it'll benefit you tomorrow, versus it's sweet today and it's going to cause you pain tomorrow. It's going to cause you that regret, and you don't want that. The thing about discipline is it doesn't feel too good because it's hard to do, and not a lot of people can do it. But when you go through that temporary pain and you endure, what's going on here? Y'all just not gonna move your cars? And you go through that pain, you endure, and you go through all of that. Guess what? That pain eventually is gonna end. It's gonna be replaced with joy. It's gonna be replaced with satisfaction. when you give in to your lusts and your desires, however, the pain you feel after that will not be replaced with satisfaction. All right, that pain is not a pain you get from working towards something. That's a pain you get from not being disciplined enough to achieve something. And that pain of regret, the thing that makes regret such a painful thing is that you can't do anything about it. Regret is basically looking in retrospect. You're looking in the past at something,
speed camera reported
and you're feeling
ahead.
like, damn, I wish I would have done things differently, or I wish I would have done it this way, or damn, I should have just stuck to it. But those are all in the past, and you can't change that. So you're stuck living with the pain of your actions that you took in the past, things you could have done better. That's why it's so painful, because it's always going to be there, and there's nothing you can really do about it. And that's why you want to maintain that discipline. So why am I talking about discipline? Because today, in the year 2023, okay, with Esau Edom ruling, the world has literally become a temptation box. Okay, this whole globe has become a box of temptation. I mean, if you look everywhere around you, why do you think they've turned abominable foods into delicacies, right? Into almost like common staples in people's homes? Why do you think they've over-sexualized society? What do you think happens when you program people from a young age to constantly just think about sex, you know? And that's it. That's women, men, like that's their main thing. A lot of people today live for sex. That's their whole MO. They go out, you know, they work, they do all these things, but in their mind, it's all their end goal is that. So if every time they see a woman, you know, they just instinctively, no self-control, no nothing, boom. What does that do? That's playing on the natural nature of a man, for example. Where a man is designed to see a woman, and then, you know, there's certain things about a woman that are just attractive to you. You know, you look good to me. That's an inside joke, but I'm gonna tell you like this here. So there's certain things in a woman that's just attractive to you. So what Esau's doing is he's playing on that, meaning that, yeah, there's certain things about a woman that's attractive to you, but you should have self-control. But what Esau does is he basically puts that he draws that feeling out on steroids by over-sexualizing society. And by doing that, it throws out the self-control. So the second, that's why you'll see memes talking about how dudes will bang anything that moves, anything that has hair, whatever. They make those kinds of memes because that's you know, that's just the mind of a lot of average individuals today. Now, there's nothing wrong with dealing with a woman, but you got to know the boundaries with it. Everything has a balance to it. Esau says, F the balance, throw it out, throw it somewhere, and just do whatever you want to do. And that's why adultery is running rampant as well, because people don't have self-control. Everything is over-sexualized. That's all they think about. That's why adultery is like one of the top laws that's broken. In fact, there's more than likely, this is just my personal opinion. I speak as a man, but more than likely there's more adultery being committed than there is murder, okay, going on. So it's one of the top sins unto death, right? One of the top deadly sins that Jake and Israelites commit, which is adultery, because they don't have that self-discipline. Because why should they? You live in a society that is promoting, is telling you that that's okay. You know, it doesn't explain to you what are the laws of marriage, what are the differences between, you know, a married woman and not married woman. When can you deal with a certain kind of woman? When can you not? It doesn't explain any of that. And you know, that's how the flesh thinks. The flesh thinks with what feels good and what doesn't feel good. Your fleshly side does not consider what is right and what is not right. It doesn't consider what's righteous and what's wicked. It just thinks what feels good, what doesn't feel good, based on what looks good, right? What your mind tells you would feel nice. That's how your flesh thinks and operates. And if you don't have the right spirit to counteract that, the spirit that is subject to righteousness, to counteract that and subject the flesh, because guess what? Even though you have a righteous spirit, your flesh is still gonna come up. Damn, shorty is, ooh, oh my gosh. Your spirit is what gotta shut that down, you know? Like, get that thought out of your head. Put that shit somewhere. You know? It's like, oh my Lord, what is that? And then your eyes hit the ring on the head, and then boom, you got to shut that flesh, because that's what the flesh is going to do every single time. It's going to pop its head up. It's going to rear its head up. Whenever it see, what's that? What's going on over there? And then you gotta shut that down. So in this society, because they don't have that discipline, like the Apostle Paul made mention of, it is not I that sinneth, but sin that dwells in me. So, and then he said that the thing that I would, I do not, but the thing that I would not, that I do, because of the flesh. Okay, and that's why Yahushua said the flesh indeed is the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's why you need discipline. Okay, because if you don't have discipline, your flesh will take over. It'll get into the driver's seat and it'll go about and it will get you into many accidents. Accident after accident after accident after accident after accident is where you'll find yourself when you let your flesh rule. Okay, and you don't have that control. And that's just one aspect. I use the adultery example because it's very prevalent in society today. Okay, but there are many other examples, and like I said, Esau has turned the world into a box of temptation. Like everything you do, everything you see, everything you hear is perverse in some way, shape, or form. And you have the things that are overtly perverse, and you have the things that are covertly perverse. So there are things that are openly perverse that you know to stay away from, and then there are things that are covertly perverse that you don't even know about. For example, you go to a restaurant, you tell them, you look at the menu, you tell them, I don't eat pork, so please don't put no pork on this. Can I have turkey bacon instead? Oh, sure, we can definitely accommodate for that. All right. They go, they take the order to the chef. All right. Chef says, okay, they want turkey bacon, they don't want pork bacon. Cool. What about the first order? The first order that came in, oh, he wants pork bacon. All right, cool. Throw the pork on the stove. You know, grill that shit, whatever, fried, yada yada, flip it, cool. Throw it off. Scrape the remains off, throw the turkey bacon on there. All right, same spatula, same all of that, same oil, whatever it is, and let's just run this thing. So there are many times that you've gone and ordered something that is not pork, but your food has already been tainted by pork juice or pork remains or whatever the case is. Okay? There are times when you're trying to avoid it, but covertly, like under the hood, before things you don't even know about. It's done in a way that's gonna get you to, you know, go off anyway. You wonder why it is they have some of these ingredients. Why do certain foods contain certain ingredients? Why does candy contain enzymes or products from a beaver's anus? Whoever thought that let me look at this beaver right here, lift up that tail, extract some stuff and put it in. Why? Because I want the. So this is like I said, the society that we're living in, and this number one also shows the mercy of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, because you can only do something about do something about what you know about. You know that woman is married, you stay away from her. Oh dear God, these people are animals, man. But what if you don't know, right? Or what if the situation like I just described, you know, where you go, you want to order something good, but they give you something bad, and they tell you it's this and then it's not. Like so many different things can happen that you don't know about. You can't do anything about it, right? But the Lord has mercy, because guess what? In the Lord's eyes, it's still, whether you knew about it or not, does not change the act that happened. Okay? If a woman blatantly lied to you, like her actual mindset was she's gonna actually deceive your ass, meaning she got a man, she got a I was about to say a wife, she got a husband and kids, but she's actually like swearing up and down that she's single and all. She just played the whole role, right? And she got you. Guess what? That's still adultery. You just didn't know about it. In your mind, you thought that it wasn't, but it's still adultery. The act of adultery is still committed. You know why? Because adultery is when a man lays with a married woman, right? That's one form of adultery. And vice versa, a married woman lays with a man. So that's not her husband. So that act is still adultery. Now, you may pray to the Lord for mercy and forgiveness, and when he forgives you, that's because he has mercy on you. He's not obligated to say, Oh, because you didn't know, it doesn't count as adult. No, 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 it still is. It still is. You just didn't know about it. You see? So it highlights the mercy of the Lord, but it's going to show you that in this society now it's probably like the hardest time to you know, to remain keep your eyes single and remain righteous, because if you go back to the past, like even during the time of the Romans, yeah, Jake were wicked, you know, they were still doing wicked things, but for the most part, you still had Judea, for example, right? You still had that region of Palestine and all of that, where you had Israelites that knew they were Israelites. You had the Sanhedrin, you had the scribes and the Pharisees. Yeah, there were wicked ones among them, but you still had some custom of being an Israelite. What it means to be an Israelite. You can do this, you shouldn't do that. This is what you should do. This is what you shouldn't do. Right? Everybody knew what adultery was. Everybody knew what the law says about this, that, and the third. So there was a presence of having knowledge, at least, of the ways of the Lord. You know, of people that were living to some degree, right, after the ways of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And we all knew it. We knew we were Israelites. We knew all of that. To today, that's out though. We're the only ones. Okay? We're actually the only ones. The rest of the world, majority of them don't even, you know, believe that name to be the name of the Lord. They don't even believe that they're Israelites. To them, this is just something we just got up and made up. So it's literally just us. And because they don't believe these things, there is no, you know, community that makes it easy to uphold these laws. No, everybody's doing whatever they want to do. And when everybody does what they want to do, it's harder for you to do what you have to do, right? When you know, I remember this from like, I forgot what grade it was, but you know, the earlier grades in school. When a teacher is in class, everybody doing what they're doing. When a teacher steps out the class, that's when the class clown jumps on the table, he's cracking jokes, this table starts talking with each other, this person takes out her phone and she's doing this person is laughing, this person is recording, and you're supposed to be doing your work, but it gets harder to do your work. Everybody's talking, everybody's laughing, everybody's giggling. And as a kid, you just feel, I mean, all right, so let me talk too, right? Versus if the teacher's there, then everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. And if everybody's doing their work, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb if you're not trying to do what you got to do. You know, if you out here trying to take out your phone, and no, it's gonna make you want to do your work as well. So it's easier to do what you got to do when everybody else is doing what they got to do. But in this society, it's reversed. This is the society where the professor's not in the class, and everybody's doing whatever the hell they want to do. But you got to have the discipline to say, nope, I have to do what is right, because I know that this professor eventually is going to come back into class. And when they come back, they're going to come and whoop these kids' asses. They're going to get in trouble because they're not doing what they got to do. So I gotta maintain discipline and do what I got to do. That's the society we're in today. That is why self-discipline is very, very, very important today. Because the scriptures tell you that, Ecclesiastes 8:11, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of men is fully set in them to do evil. Roughly paraphrasing. So because you don't get judged on the spot, people think that they can do whatever they want and get away with it. So you now gotta hold yourself accountable. There are things that if you get caught, you will be reprimanded for. Right? If we find out you doing X, Y, and Z, yeah, hell yeah, you're gonna get reprimanded. But there's certain things. I mean, we don't got cameras in your room. You know, we don't have an invisible camera just following you everywhere you go. We don't know what you're doing off camera and what you do when you're not around us. You know what you do. You know what you think. You know who you're around. You know how you act. So you have to hold yourself accountable. That's where discipline comes in. Today, a lot of people have trouble holding themselves accountable for things. A lot of people, when it's left up to them, they would rather tell somebody else. How many times have either you've done it or you've heard somebody do it where they tell you, hey, can you remind me to do this at this point in time? Hey, can you make sure that I do this, that, or the third? You know? Hey, I said I was going to do this. In case I forget, can you just, you see? And you may do it to, you know, a person, or you type it in your phone, you set an alarm or something like that. But the point is, you may depend on somebody else to hold you accountable, right? Because society teaches you that, you know, people have too little faith in their ability to remain disciplined and hold themselves accountable. So they keep it at, you know what, let me just tell somebody just in case, you know, they can hold me. It's easier when I know somebody's watching me, you know. It's easier when I know. So look, this is why, for example, for those of you that exercise or go to the gym, this is why people go and get trainers. Sometimes they don't know what the actual workout is, which is fine, and sometimes they just need somebody there to push them, because it's easier when there's somebody there holding you up to what you're supposed to be doing versus when you got to do it yourself. There's nobody around, you know. So do you really have to squeeze that last rep? There's nobody around. So if your form gets messed up on like the 5th rep, do you really got to keep going and trying to maintain it? Those with self-discipline will, but others, they'll just they'll do whatever and then they'll leave. But then when somebody else is there, you know, they do it all. You know, lightweight, they doing all of that. So bringing it back full circle, it's the same thing. Today, a lot of people, you know, it's easier when you're watching their asses. Oh, this person is here. Why do you think people get on their best behavior when somebody else is around? You know, somebody of higher rank or authority. Oh, this person is here. Oh, you know, you reading precepts, you right in line. You know, you answering them questions right on point. The person's not there. Whatever. You know, you do whatever it is you want to do. You're not able to hold yourself accountable. You're not able to maintain that discipline as if whoever it is was there. Why do you need somebody else to be there for you to be disciplined? What happens when you're alone then? Because this person might not always be there. So if every decision you make is based on what somebody else would think or somebody else looking at you, all think about it like this. Yahweh Shai is always looking at you. You know, so when you think you're alone, you're not really alone. You're being watched. You're being watched all the time. That should be motivation. You're being watched by the most important eyes. So that should be motivation to do what you got to do, to maintain that discipline. Because like I said, somebody holding you accountable, they can only do it so much. Yo, did you do your 5 push-ups today? Yeah, I did it. All right, cool. All right. But what if you didn't? What if you just told them you did and you didn't, and they weren't there to see it? See, but when you're holding yourself accountable, you remind yourself, yo, I haven't done my push-ups today. I gotta actually go do it. You can't lie to yourself. You cannot lie to yourself. If you tell yourself I did my push-ups, you know you didn't. You can't lie to yourself. So you are the best person to hold yourself accountable. You are the best person to maintain that discipline. And for something as important as salvation, you know, that's something you want to prioritize. You know, I got to do my lesson today. I haven't done my lesson. You know, I got to make sure I get it done. I'm not doing a lesson just because there's an order out that this lesson has to be done. No, I should be holding myself accountable. You know, that damn, I can't go to sleep unless I do this lesson. You got to be able to have that, because like I said, the world in this society is a box of temptation. Everywhere you turn, there's a temptation right across the corner waiting for you. Oh, he just got out the shower? Catch his ass. Oh, he's over. Oh, yeah, let's go get him over there. You know, there's always temptations right around the corner lurking for your ass. All right? So if you're not in that mindset that you got to be able to maintain that discipline, you got to be able to resist that temptation, you're going to find yourself in a very not good situation. All right? And that's pretty much where we're at. You know, so the scriptures talk about redeeming the times, you know, because the days are evil, and it's going to get more evil. It's going to get more lawless. But you got to maintain that spirituality. You got to do what's right because it's right. Not because somebody's watching you or not because there are consequences. You got to do what's right because it's right. And that's one of the hardest things to do. Yo, nobody else is doing it. Why are you going so hard? Because that's what I got to do. Why y'all always talking about this? Because that's what the Lord told us to do. Yeah, well, guess what? That's what he told us to do. So we're going to do what the Lord told us to do. And if you do that, exactly, you versus you. You know, if you're able to do that, you have that strong mind. And that'll help you through the times that we're coming into. You know, it'll help you maintain that discipline. It'll help you grow. And you eventually, it'll just become a part of you. You know, you'll get used to it. It'll become a part of you. It'll be like habitual. And you'll progress. You know, you'll be able to do the hard things that others are not able to do. You know, you'll be able to do the things that, well, how is it that you have discipline? It's not that it's impossible. You just make it seem like it's impossible to justify you not doing it. In your mind, you tell it, no, I can't do that. No, you can if you put in the right amount of work, but what you really are saying is, I don't want to put in the work for it. But if I say that, it makes me sound lazy. So I would say I can't do it. And if I say I can't do it, it's impossible, then I'm not wrong for not trying, because I already know I can't do it. That's how people want to, you know, before you do something, you know, no, I can't do that. You haven't tried it. How do you know you can't? You don't want to put in hard work, because if you do it, the only way you're going to be able to do it is by putting in hard work. But you don't want to put in hard work, so you tell yourself you can't do it, and that justifies you not doing it. That's not going to get you anywhere. You know, you only doing bad to yourself, not to anybody else. How diligent you are, that's going to affect you. You know, when the time of trouble comes, when the Lord looks at your works, he looks at your resume, he's like, all right, what have you done for me? And he doesn't see any good works on there, that's going to affect you. You think that's going to affect Apostle Tahar, Apostle Baqar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakab, brothers, you know, elder brothers, bishops? You think the works you do, how lazy you are, or how, that's not going to affect them. It's going to affect you. When the Lord comes back, he's coming. Look, the next man's salvation is based on what he's doing. Your salvation is based on what you're doing or what you're not doing. So if you I'm only doing this because of this, or I'm only behaving like this because of this person, that's not what the Lord is coming here for. He said, behold, I come quickly, right? Hold that fast which thou hast. But also the Lord said to give every man according as his work shall be. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, ask yourself that. What are you doing? You know, what am I doing? Examine yourself. Am I doing what I should be doing? I know myself. I know what I can do. Am I doing the best that I can do? I can't lie to myself. I can't lie to your house shot. So, you know, if the Lord came in today, he asked me, yo, you doing what you got to do? Would you be able to answer that honestly? I mean, these are all things you got to consider, man. But the main point of this lesson is that we live in a society where everything is a temptation. You know, we live in more tempting times now than we did in the past. So it makes everything harder to do. You know, basic acts of righteousness become like jumping through a hoop of fiery rings. You're constantly jumping through fiery rings just to make sure that you're doing what you got to do. That's why you got to always be on point. Because if you loosen up just a little bit, trust me, them demons are waiting. The American demons, they're like a whole new level, man. Okay, the American demons, the demons in Babylon, they're on a whole new level. So you always got to maintain your edge. All right, pray, fast. You know, keep your mind occupied with righteous things. You know, and like the Lord said, man, endure unto the end. You know, so that's pretty much it. Let me see what brothers got on. As a matter of fact, let me wait. Let me wait.
Flight camera ahead.
All right, I got it. You know, but yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, man. So this is definitely something to keep in mind. You know, in your walk. You know, as you go day to day, always keep that in mind. Maintain that discipline. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. It's just not easy, but it's not impossible. You know, and if you want salvation that badly, you're gonna do what you have to do. Not because it's easy, but because you gotta do it. Okay, and that's what's important. So, you know, that's pretty much it on this lesson. Like I said, I just want to see what this comment says. Yep, always do what is right. Yeah, gone. You know, so with that, Lord willing to find to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rucha Kodesh. And until next time, Shalom.